All right, the Seattle Seahawks making some sneaky, kind of under the radar moves. If you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to teams that are kind of under the radar. You know, just don't get the love nationally like some other teams. Seattle, definitely one of those teams. We've been on you guys now for a couple of years and just like what you're doing. And actually, we're Michigan fans too, and you've got our former defensive coordinator as your head coach. So that's kind of cool. So here's the moves, couple different things, and you guys let me know in the comments here. First one that I think is just like, okay, I like this, is you have signed a former Oregon Duck and Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman to a futures deal. So you signed Salah Amave Lualu to a future deal. What does this mean? This means that you want him at camp. The significance of this is it's just hard to find tackles just kind of sitting around. And so he was a 6th-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens. During his time, he was inactive for every game as a rookie, but then in 2024 was on the practice squad and did get into 2 regular season games. So he doesn't suck. He's huge. And he went to Oregon, had offers from Alabama. He was a 4-star recruit. So again, is this a guy that you're just going to be like, okay, let's build our team around? No. But it's nice to know, hey, we understand offensive line. We need to get some bodies in here. It doesn't hurt at all. So I love that. That's move number 1. The second thing that happened is you hired, there's some balloons going off there. You hired a new quarterbacks coach. So you've got a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, and now a new quarterbacks coach. That just a little bit quick on him, okay, is that Janoko is his name. Janico? Arrival is no surprise given he worked with new Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak in New Orleans and when they were both with the Minnesota Vikings. He's 36 years old, was with the Vikings, Chicago Bears. So it's like, okay, I like that. Now, the other one that you probably saw, but it's like, this is interesting too, is that John Benton replaced Scott Huff as the offensive line coach. Scott Huff, remember, didn't have any pro experience when he joined the Seahawks. It's like, oh, well, what the heck? So no surprise that he's probably going to go with Ryan Grubb, who was fired. Similar to Grubb, Huff had no prior, let me move this around here, hold on, NFL experience before joining the Seahawks, and the early returns were enough for Mike McDonald and the staff, or to make changes to his staff. So here's what we kind of keep talking about on this channel. I got more for you about offseason assets, and also we're going to look at, you know what? Hold on. Let's just go to it. I'm too excited not to share this with you. This is a really cool article that PFF put out that it just shows what this is. It shows what do you have this offseason with draft capital and cap space compared to everybody else. Because you can look at it and be like, oh, man, we got draft picks, we got this, we got that. Well, let's look at it all. It's all relative, right? So what this did is it takes a look at what picks do you have and when do you have them, combine them all together, and what do you got? You got the Seahawks right here, 17. Middle of the pack, that's kind of what you'd expect just because you finished just outside of the playoffs, picking about 17, 18. It kind of makes sense, right, and goes like that. So the worst teams are up here. The premium picks, picking early. Now, combine that with, and this is where it gets interesting, cap space. What you'll see, let me shrink myself down here. What you'll see is the bottom right shows how much cap space you have. So the New England Patriots have the most cap space sitting down here. But also it takes into account potential restructures, deals that you could have out there, dead cap. So it's like, oh, we got a bunch of cap space. Well, you need to factor in some of these guys are going to be due. Like the Falcons are way up here because, hey, they might have cap space, a little bit of cap space as they head to the right there of your screen, but they've got Kirk Cousins dead money or, stuff like that. The Browns, the Saints, they've got negative. So say that to say there are the Seahawks. Cap space isn't great and restructure potential is high. Okay, so it's as interesting to see. So what they do then is combine the two metrics, and here's what you get. You want to be in the top right is where you want to be. You want to be on the right side of this thing. That means you got cap space. Look at where the Seahawks are. This is interesting because everybody's like, yo, let's get a new quarterback. Not everybody, but if you're in that crowd, it's like, with what and where and how are we going to do that? So you take that over to the mock draft, and that's where the only chance you have of making this happen is in the mock drafts or in the draft. So let's take a look at that. This is a mock draft where it's like, all right, Jackson Dart, Mississippi, who's rising up draft boards, and somebody, I actually don't hate this one. Let me know in the comments. I don't hate it. You need a quarterback. Geno Smith is fine, but at some point you're going to have to do something anyway. So I don't hate that pick right there. I don't love it, though. I just really don't. Then you go edge, and then you go linebacker. Hold on. There we go. Guard, safety, edge. The classic debate, right? In mock drafts is like, well, just best player available. It's like, yeah, I don't, and I'm not that. We got a hole here at guard. We got a hole at center. We got an offensive line that needs to get better. I'm all about that, and you're just not really seeing that. You're seeing one offensive lineman taken in this mock draft, and then there's a center in this pick 7, which I have no idea who Drew Kendall is, but he's a center from Boston College. Just feels like he's going to be a stud, or just a steal, I should say. Anyway, Seahawks, new offensive lineman, new quarterbacks coach, new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach. You can see that there's challenges this offseason, but in general, you've got, so the cap space thing is definitely a thing, but the picks are going to be there. You've got good picks. Some teams don't have a second and a third round pick, stuff like that. You've got good picks, and you can make stuff happen. I don't love taking a quarterback this round or this cycle. I don't. But hey, man, if this NBA trade has taught us anything, it's like, who knows? You could find somebody. People might trade you. So I don't know. I have no idea. That really threw me. That trade didn't make any sense. So, all right, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're going for 30,000 subs on this channel, which is just crazy. A lot of fun. People seem to like it. I like it. Let's go. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you on the next one.